Hey, today is March 15th, Sunday, March 15th, and I have decided to create a log of, um, I'm, I'm going to start a new journey for myself of improving my vision naturally and see if it works and see if I can end up getting back to 2020 using this method developed by a man named Jake Steiner. He has a website called endmyopia.org, which explains in detail how you can go from wearing glasses full time to 20/20 vision just by following some tips and steps and a guided method, which is completely free and open to the public, available to everyone. Um, he's done extensive studies, or he's researched extensively studies on how the eye works and how eyesight works, and that basically glasses are apparently a crutch and make your eyesight worse over time, especially when using engaging in certain habits. So I want to kind of document my experience as I go along, um, and just kind of touch base every once in a while to see about my progress and to see if this works. And even as I'm doing this video, I notice I'm changing my habits a little bit. The phone video is far enough away from me to where I'm not using my close-up vision, especially not with glasses on. I've learned that. One of the ways to help improve your vision is to stop wearing your glasses that are meant for long distances, to look at screens or phones or text, any kind of text, written text up close to your face. So I have opted to take the glasses off when I do something like this. So let's get a little closer because that makes me feel a little more comfortable. Basically, I'm starting today. I've decided to take the courses. There's some online courses available, like you pay monthly for them, and they're reasonable compared to the price of glasses. But this whole method he's developed is completely free. You don't have to take the courses online. You can get all the information and do it yourself without paying if you want to. But I just know me, and I know that the way I stick to things is when I commit to it, and it's hard for me to commit when it's just up to me and I'm not being held accountable. And I also want the guidance. It gives you like personal access to forums where you can ask questions and you can get in-depth, detailed responses, not just kind of like what the guide tells you. So with that, this is going to be an experiment for me, and I'm excited, like regardless of whether it works or not. This is something that means a lot to me because I've realized as I've been learning about this and starting this process, like it's kind of personal. It's unlocking sort of these feelings I didn't realize I had kept inside about the fact that I just thought my vision would never get better, that it was always going to get worse is what I was told and what society tells you and what doctors even tell you. And that the only way it would get better is if by a miracle or by some weird kind of new agey just willing it to happen or working on exercises that weren't really going to help, but maybe they'd help. And so I kind of just accepted that this was going to be my lot in life, was just to have progressively worse and worse vision as I got older. Though I've grown to love the look of my glasses, and I've grown to appreciate my glasses. I actually never really wanted them to begin with. I started wearing glasses. I needed them around 9 years old to see the board, and then by 10 or 11, I think I was wearing them, maybe 12. I was wearing them like full time, probably 12, 13. And I just remember when that happened, I thought, okay, this is the end of any kind of like activities that required 20/20 vision. So I kind of shied away from sports. I shied away from being active outside and being active doing things like that would kind of be a hindrance if I were wearing glasses because I was afraid to break them. And I mean, eventually, as an adult, I didn't really care that much that I wasn't engaging in certain activities. Even though as a kid I loved playing soccer, like I loved it, and I played for a good 4 or 5 years until I kind of reached this point where it wasn't really the glasses per se, but it was like I just wasn't sure if I wanted to go further with the sport. But once I got glasses, then I was like, well, I'm definitely not playing. But I've also, I've always loved reading, and I've always been very like literary, and I like to journal, I like to write. So I mean, that kind of makes sense that my myopia started around the time I was a kid, and it just kept going. And I still to this day love reading. I love writing. I love watching movies. I have kind of not stopped. I've toned down my computer usage significantly. And I don't really get on the internet so much for social media, except occasionally every 2 weeks or so to check Facebook or Instagram. And then I get off really quickly, and I just use the internet for research and my own just stuff I'm interested in looking at. So anyway, this is a very long explanation to say that for so long I really just thought like, okay, my vision's going to get worse. That's what the eye doctor always told me. It's just genetic, which is another thing that Jake talks about in this guide is like, oh, it's genetic. It's never going to get better. You're just stuck with it. Sorry. That's your deck of cards you were dealt. So, and I kind of always, as a kid, I kind of like refused to really believe that. I was like, no, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I used to see fine and now I don't. But I kind of accepted it. I was like, okay, my parents have glasses. Makes sense. Genetic. Even though my grandparents didn't really need glasses till they were older. But it's another story. But like, I have kind of just, I felt like there's nothing I can do to change this. There's nothing I can do to make this better. And for a long time, that really bothered me. That made me really sad. And then I just kind of accepted it and got used to it. And now I'm at this point where, like, as an adult, though I don't mind wearing glasses aesthetically, or even like the habit of putting them on, keeping them on, I still think, one, it would be amazing to go back to like what it was like when I was young, where I could just see everything in the morning when I woke up. I could see to the end of my room. I could see outside. I could see everything clearly, and I'd love to have that back. And I'm also concerned about my overall vision health because this method kind of, as I've learned more about this method, I've learned that the eye adapts to the stimulus that's put in front of it. So over time, the glasses, needing glasses creates this stimuli that tells the eyeball, you need to lengthen, you need to lengthen, you need to lengthen. And so the eye starts to slowly grow over time with glasses use. So my eye is probably too long for me to have vision, but apparently, as we've seen in this method, the studies that Jake has shown us that are out there for everyone to see on the internet is that the eye can also shorten. And so once the shorten, it's a combination of a ciliary muscle spasm and the axial elongation of your eyeball. Anyways, I've done a lot of preliminary reading. I first found out about this site probably 2 weeks ago, and I didn't sign up. I kind of watched some videos, read the site. He puts a lot of information out there, all kinds of information, research, videos, text, blog format, videos of participants that have tried this method and have reached 20/20, because there are a lot of people out there that apparently have done that, success stories, which is also very encouraging and also helps me think, okay, this is not a scam, this is legitimate. That and the scientific research he's tied with this to kind of basically create this method. He doesn't own this method, but it's kind of like he's the communicator for this method. Anyway, after kind of reading up on that, looking at his site, I was like, yeah, I really want to try this. This makes sense. This tracks even with what I have experienced in my 20 years of myopic vision. I have noticed just these slight cues that are like, okay, this tells me my vision is not static. It's not meant to stay just one way. It can get better. That was something I really didn't believe, but apparently it can get better, and we're about to find out. So I've signed up. First I signed up for this like 7 free email guide that kind of explained in 7 separate emails over a week kind of what the process is, the science behind it, what I can expect if I were to do this method, whether I do it on my own for free or whether I pay for the guided lessons. And apparently it's going to take, on average, every diopter, measure your vision in diopters, every diopter reduction takes about 1 year. And I don't... This just shows how out of touch I had been with my vision, how little I knew before this. I've learned so much since just stumbling upon this website. I've learned so much more about my eyes than I've ever knew before, which is really inspiring and encouraging. But like basically, I had really not paid attention too much to how my vision was changing, but for every once in a while when the ophthalmologist would say, okay, this is your prescription, and he'd hand me the prescription, and I kind of didn't really understand, okay, do I have astigmatism? What does that mean? And I knew my right eye was weaker than my left eye. And I think my latest prescription, which was I think about 2 years ago, I don't even remember what the glasses prescription was, to be honest, and that's a shame. That's embarrassing. I should really know this, but I have it written down somewhere. And but I know my contact prescription that I'm currently using. I don't know if that's up to date, but it's what I've been using. In my right eye, I think I'm negative 4.25 or 4.5, and in my left, I'm negative 3.75 per the contacts, which may not even be correct. But if that's the case, and if each of those measurements represent diopters, then I think I should expect somewhere between 4 and 5 years of this method and this practice and doing the exercises and doing not even exercises, the active focus, taking in all the lifestyle tips, the changes needed. It's going to take me between maybe 4 years, I'm guessing, 4 to 5 maybe, to get 20/20 vision on my own, naturally. And I'm prepared to do what it takes. I'm prepared to get the new prescriptions. Buying glasses online, he shows you how easy it can be if you don't go to the main optometrists in the stores that sell you hundreds of dollars per frame glasses. You can find a decent, good quality pair of glasses online for like 40 or 50 bucks. So I am prepared to do that and buy the different prescriptions I need over time as I reduce my lens power and practice my distance vision, reduce my close-up vision time, reduce my screen time, and definitely don't use my glasses when I'm on the screen, in front of screens. And I think this is going to be really cool. And even just, honestly, I have to say, even if I don't achieve 20/20 vision, the fact that I know that it could be possible, and the fact that I don't have to go get LASIK or surgery, I don't have to change anything about my body. I could just work with my body to get back to the natural state of how eyes are meant to be is amazing. It's an amazing feeling. And it's a shame that more people don't know this. So maybe we'll see. Maybe in a year or two, I'm going to look at this video and regret everything I just said, or take it all back. But I have a really good feeling that this is going to be cool. I can't promise I'm going to update all the time. Watch this be like, okay, dies out in the next 2 weeks. But I'd like to just at least keep some track of, some log of how I'm doing. So let's just say I'm about to learn more. I've started the paid lessons online. I'm learning. I've been tracking my measurements like on a Snellen eye chart, which is kind of your typical eye chart you see at the eye doctor when you get your vision tested at the DMV or at the at school. And I've put it up against the back of my wall in my bedroom, and I've measured about what I think is about 20 feet from there to periodically check my vision with my glasses on. I can't see shit with them off, but with them on. And even just over the span of a week and a half, I've tracked it and I've noticed, like Jake says, it changes. My vision changes depending on the lighting, depending on the time of day, depending on what I've been doing before, if I've been on the computer all day versus if I've just woken up. And I've seen it's not even like progress, it's just like, okay, the day to day. So like some days I'm seeing 20/40 with my glasses at best, and other days I'm seeing 20/15. It's that much of a difference just by certain just small things in the day and lifestyle habits. So I'm fully on board. I'm convinced this is legit. This is real. So I've been using the eye chart, but I really should now start learning to measure, which I'm about to take the course to learn how to do the centimeter diopter to figure out how far away do I see until I see blur. And so I think I took like one measurement for that one time, but I don't know if I did it right. So I don't want to say what I think it is. And that's also going to change. And that's what's going to give me my true prescription per this method that I'm going to start using. I guess I don't know what I'm going to do with my glasses, my old glasses. I mean, I'm going to keep them and use them for distance stuff. And then maybe if my vision gets better over time, I'll just replace the lenses, not the frames, because I literally just bought these glasses like not even a year ago. And they weren't cheap because, of course, this industry is just reaping a profit. But anyway, yeah, I want to kind of just keep them and use them. I love the way they look. They're cute. Look at them. They're cute. So anyways, we'll see how that goes. But I'm also ready to buy glasses online the right way, cheap, not being ripped off. Yeah. So hallelujah. Thank you, Jake Steiner. Thank you, Back to 2028 Vision Method. We're going to see if this works. Check in later.